What is up, guys? Steven here, and today I'm going to be bringing you an evening with Goomy, and I know I haven't done one of these in quite a while, but that's just because IRL stuff has been insanely busy. I've actually recently graduated from college with 2 engineering degrees and accepted a full-time position for work after school, and just had a lot going on, but now I'm at home for just a little bit of time before I have to, before I'm gonna move down for my job. So I'm gonna be using this team that I have, probably been using too much, honestly. It's really Flames. Basically, this team is double hyper-offensive lead. So I have lead Azelf and lead Greninja on the same team. That's kind of the focus of the team. Here it's my best play is just to Shadow Sneak to ensure that I can kill this with a Shadow Claw. I guess he didn't really... Okay, I don't understand that because his best play there was Aqua Jet. For sure, to guarantee that he broke my disguise. But obviously that is not what occurred. Cloyster actually does just kind of beat my team. But fortunately that's not what he goes into, so hopefully the Shadow Claw can just kill because I'm adamant. And that's not what happened. But yeah, this team is pretty interesting. This is an Espeon. This team is really interesting. Has, like I said, the 2 HO leads. This is terrifying. I really just got a SD here. This is actually Flames. I believe, probably just hard Azelf though, because I do have the Dazzling Gleam, so I can kill this, and I do have access to Taunt for whichever of these Mons he wants to bring in. I made this team when Mega Metagross was in the tier, and I mean you can probably see like why I think it's probably better now that Mega Metagross is gone, because I just get Flare Blitzed into the next dimension. So there are certain things about the team that probably like aren't necessarily the best or make the most sense in the current meta. I'm adamant Garchomp because it gave me a really good chance to OHKO Metagross after like a rock and a spike, or maybe it was just a single spike, which that obviously isn't relevant anymore. So I don't know, there's just certain stuff like that is probably a little bit unnecessary regarding this team. So now I'm just gonna sack this to so he'll die to poison, and I should be able to win, assuming I hit a play rough. And most Ments don't carry something that can OHKO Celesteela anyway. So he's just gonna Sky Strike me, and I'm gonna Sky Strike him, which I think should kill. But yeah, life has been busy. I hope that y'all understand that, and that's why I haven't really uploaded. I have been keeping up with stuff. NU has still not been released due to issues with the Showdown server and kind of how they collect data for that, like usage stats. So I'm still looking / waiting for NU to come out. Not necessarily because I'm like gonna play NU all the time, although it'll probably make me play Pokemon more. But more so because I'm excited about the NU Premier League again, because it's just a really exciting tournament that I'm really looking forward to. So, alright, well, here I'm going to try to show off the tech of this team as he actually just leads Gliscor instead of leading with Sableye. Not really sure what that is about. Maybe he just anticipated me to like not lead with the thing because he had the other, but I'm fine with this because I'm gonna be in a position to get up a lot of hazards, and I'm gonna taunt this because I really don't want him getting a T-spikes on my team. So yeah, I'm in a really good position because I can just get up another spike and then go into the real menace, which is Thunderous, and hopefully knock off the Chansey. That's kind of the current game plan. Unfortunately, he does have that Gliscor, which is pretty menacing for my team to break because my main stall breaker is this Thundy. However, if I can kill the Chansey or at least knock off its Eviolite, then I'm fairly certain I can win with Celesteela, as his best answer is the X button. His actual best answer is Toxapex, but you really only have to get one flinch on that to beat it, so that's not a worry for this team. I didn't get to show off the cool tech of I actually have 2 Z moves on this team. I have Twinkle Tackle on Azelf, actually just for the stall matchup, due to the fact that basically I'm running EVs such that you can actually always, 100% of the time, I don't even really need to autotomize here, but I think I'm going to. I don't understand that play. I can actually just Fire Blast once to see if I can catch the Scarm, as that's what happens, and I do hit. And that did minimal damage, which means he's Spadef. And hopefully I outspeed, and I do, but I miss. It's pretty unfortunate. It's gonna make the game a lot more difficult, but that's okay, as he actually just lets me kill that. So now we're just hoping that, not sure why he went into this. I'm actually just gonna Supersonic Sky Strike because this is a threat. Hopefully he doesn't protect. He does not, and we just OHKO that. That's insane. But yeah, having that Twinkle Tackle for stall is really important because you can actually, I just get a nice flinch, because you can actually get up hazards against stall, which makes it a lot easier. And as you can see, I have the knockoff, variant on Thundy, which, obviously the Thundy beats the common defogger on stall, being Skarmory, and it baits in Chansey, which kind of allows this to occur, as you can kind of see it occurring right now. I just Giga Drained because I didn't want to miss, and I don't think that the Gliscor can actually beat me. That did minimal damage. I'm not sure I can beat the Gliscor. But I think it's an interesting idea. I've been messing around with different teams that kind of have that set. I gotta believe he has Roost, so I'm gonna Giga Drain anticipating that. Yeah. But I'm not really sure how far that gets me. I'm not sure if like he predicted that or what that was, but I'm fine because like every turn that he stays in, he's wasting his PP on this Gliscor, and eventually I'll be able to win once he is out of PP. So that's good, and in some ways I want to taunt here, yeah, just because then he's forced to use his Earthquake PP, which is quite good for me. So really staying in here is just the best play, because I can just taunt him to force him to do that, and I think I'm going to I'm gonna explode, expecting a switch, and I get that right. So now I'm pretty sure I win no matter what, because he's gonna run out of Earthquakes. Basically, I'm trying to PP stall him, which is horrible, but I don't think I have a better play. I actually got a crit, which is really nice, and I'm just gonna Giga Drain, anticipating the Roost, just to, you know, it hits him super effectively and gets me back to full. So I'm just gonna click Autotomize every time he has a chance to taunt, because that saves me a PP on one of my attacking moves. So I think that is the best play that I can make. Yep, he roosted early because he's trying to, like, I don't know, but I can just, again, click Autotomize here, which is, it's just saving me PP. He has a lot left, so I think I'm probably just gonna fast forward through this, but I'll catch y'all at the end of this battle. Alright, so here we are at the end of the battle. I was very well on the way to PP stalling him. I think he had like 5 Toxics and 5 Earthquakes left. So pretty much once he was out of one of those moves, I won. Or once he was out of one of those moves, I won. So that was fine. But I eventually just got into a situation where I pivoted into Garchomp when he was low enough that Outrage could win the game. So yeah, let's get another one. This guy says, "Give me your team." I'm gonna say no. He's offline. And so yeah, fortunately that didn't last as long as it could have. But you know, I pretty much just wanted to be in a scenario where all I had left was like Taunt and Roost, or you know, whatever, so that I could just win with the Menace, so I could win with mimic you by Swords Dancing behind the disguise. So this is an Alakazam lead. I think in a lot of scenarios, I just want T-Spikes because it really hurts his team. And there's a Gleamer, and my best play for sure here is to Shadow Sneak just to get that little bit of chip. I potentially could have done that turn 1, as he just S-balls now, which is fine by me because I can go Mimic You, which obviously threatens him out with the Shadow Sneak and double into Azelf on the Skarm. So I get that right, and I'm just going to taunt. It's really safe, and having the T-Spike is really important because he has the Tangrowth, the Buzzwole, and you know, just the stuff that I need the T-Spike for. Now I can figure out if he's Scarf or not. I am EV to live a U-turn easily, so I think I am even EV to live like a crit one every once in a while, something weird like that. As now he has Levitate, which is pretty funny, and now I can just Gleam, sack this off, which is fine, and go straight into Celesteela. My best play here is just a straight up to just Air Slam, just kick a Drain Kill. I always forget how bulky Alakazam is. Yeah, I got an Air Slash, which is unfortunate because it can miss, but I hit. And it doesn't, I got a really low roll, so I didn't kill him, so the only bad thing about that, he died to the poisons. The only bad thing about that is I didn't get the Beast Boost. So if he is Spadef Skarm, he can actually live 1, but it's looking like he's not Spadef Skarm just based on the fact that he didn't go into it there. And I'm going to Fire Blast, anticipating him to double switch, as that is whew, that is not what happened. That is not what happened at all. I mean, now he can just Fire move as I dodge, which is really good for me just because that makes this next play a lot more difficult for him because he has to predict, whereas if he had hit, then I'm trapped and he could safely go Skarm. I'm just going to EQ though. He does go Skarmoly, which is fine. I can just go Thundurus, and hopefully... Ooh, he actually spiked. That's really interesting. I'm just gonna knock off, yeah, anticipating something like the Tangrowth to come in, as now I can just Incinerate and kill this threat. If I had to change one thing about the team, I would probably, I get crit. I would probably make it physical Celesteela, because there's a lot of scenarios where Heatran can be menacing. Or I would even just replace like something with I don't even know what I'm saying. Something with Earthquake to hit Tran with this. I'm just gonna Fire Blast. Yeah, that sucks. And he hits this time, gets some nice spicy damage, and I'm just gonna EQ again. Yeah, as he has the really easy play there. This is not going great. I mean, my current plan is to win with Last Mon Mimikyu, which of course he drags out here. I'm not in a good position. I'm just gonna Shadow Claw, hopefully get like more than 12 damage off. That didn't do a lot. Okay, now that actually turned out really well for me. If I hit this, yeah. So that worked out really well for me just because I can SD on this, and I mean, unfortunately he's Scarf. Yeah, I don't have enough Life Orb hits left. I was gonna say, like, I actually kill the thing now with Shadow Claw. Yeah, you know, since he's Scarf, I just lose. But that was a tough matchup for sure. So he actually goes into this, you know, theoretically giving me a chance if I wasn't Adamant Scarf on Garchomp, but I am Adamant Scarf, so I cannot win because I don't outspeed this. And he just explodes. So, alright, let's get another one. I don't know how far I am in the recording, and we have hit this bullshit, which no one wants to play ever. So here are my ways of dealing with this. Probably, I don't have many great ways of dealing with this. I could just leave Mimikyu because it's really solid. Alright, I don't want to get glared. Yep, so I'm gonna let Greninja take the glare so I can get up a spike, and that kind of pressures his team. I'd anticipate him to go straight into Scolipede here. No, that's kind of dangerous. He might honestly go Espeon, but that's like his main sweeper, so I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna go for another spike, as he does just go Scully, and I get full parried, which is obviously pretty lame. So I can just taunt. I can just taunt, so I'm in not the greatest position, but not in the worst position, because Mega Horn does like 5, as you can see, and I do have the Z move, which obviously hits through Protect and all that, and he is locked in. And considering autotomizing, I think that's the best play. I'm gonna make it, because I doubt he stays in here. And yep, so Druddigon comes in, and I'm just gonna Air Slash. Hopefully we get a flinch, because I think if I get a flinch, I just win right now. Because I know the Z move doesn't kill. Unfortunately, we don't get the flinch. So I'm just gonna autotomize again. And he roared, which is fine, because he actually roared me out into the thing I wanted to be in at the beginning of the game, and play rough. Just got a hit, and I do. So I'm actually in an okay position, just don't really like facing this in general. I can just hard Thundy? No, I kind of want a hard Azelf. Yeah, I'm gonna hard Azelf, and I just get crit anyway. I definitely lived that, but whatever. T-Bolt needs to come out here strong. So I guess if he goes Scolipede, I think my best play is probably to just continually T-Bolt to hit whatever wants to come in hard, because he doesn't have enough subs to Life Orb Storm me to death. And then from there, hope that we can beat Necrozma, which is pretty unlikely just due to how good it is. So he actually goes hard Necrozma now. So this is really great. The only thing I'm worried about is the Mawile. And my best play here is to just T-Bolt indefinitely. Because Megahorn definitely does not kill until I'm probably low enough that I can revenge with Shadow Sneak from Mimikyu. So that's kind of the current plan, to just fire out some hot T-Bolts here. So Baton Pass is still really stupid to face. You know, they've obviously changed a lot of it. You can't pass anything but speed, but even just passing speed can be really, really difficult for certain teams to combat. So I'm still not a proponent of it being allowed. Depends, do we want to predict like a protect here? Probably not. As we can just T-Bolt here. Really depends on, like, yeah, so that does kill. But I think that puts us in a fine position, because like we can just Shadow Claw indefinitely. I mean, just passing just stuff speed is still really, really good. You know, here he goes into a Mawile and he's gonna be, you know, +6 speed with, you know, super menacing Mon that also gets priority. So like, you get out prioritized. We just gotta try to crit. He actually Sucker Punched. I considered SDing, like, but I don't think that Sucker Punch was ever his play. Like, Sucker Punch can be a play now, but he just actually straight up Thunder Punches. So we gotta hope that this kills, and it doesn't. That's really unfortunate. So he actually just let me do that. I'm not really sure why. And now Scolipede is here, and I think I'm gonna hard Garchomp as he misses. I actually wanted him to hit that to take Rough Skin, but that is fine, as I think it's time to just click Outrage and hope that we can win the game. So he's most likely going to pass this to... Okay, so he's going to pass this to Manaphy, most likely. And then we will probably hit him into Citrus on the first one. So then it's a 50-50 of whether or not he anticipates us to sack Greninja on the Ice Beam to get in Celesteela versus him tail glowing and winning the game. I mean, Tail Glow is probably a more risky play in his current situation. But unfortunately, we're actually trapped and cannot switch regardless. So we are just going to Giga Drain here, because it's our only play. So hopefully he, like, I guess, I mean, he's Citrus, so he doesn't have Hydro Vortex. He does just Tail Glow, and we don't get parried. So I think we actually have a pretty decent shot of winning this. Espeon is here. So I'm just going to go straight for Supersonic Sky Strike. And that did 5 million. unfortunately, I don't think it was enough. Because, yeah, they do carry Morning Sun. So I need to get to... I need to do one more autotomize. So now I have a chance of, like, flinching him. And that's our... Oh my gosh. And that's our chance of winning the game. So either, like, critting or flinching. Because that actually does a respectable amount. Alright. Come on, Celesteela. Flinch. That's really unfortunate. Nope. This is not cool. Can I get a flinch, please? No. Yeah, and I'm paralyzed. No. Of course. Alright, super crit Greninja. That was just... Oh my gosh. That was the worst game. I still hate Baton Pass. It's just... It's really frustrating. I'm gonna get one more. We've, what's funny is I actually didn't, I started recording and then like I got lucked in 3 straight games and then the doorbell rang. So this is my second attempt. As Tapu Koko is the lead, which is fine because normally they'll just U-turn or whatever, and that gives me a great chance to just get up a T-Spike, which really hurts this team. I'm just going to taunt this because it's super scary, and I want to get up another T-Spike because, well, mostly for the Necrozma, which is now already just normally poisoned. But now I can just get up some normal spikes as well on that play. His taunt ended. I'm going to taunt him again just because Necrozma can really easily get out of hand. I don't want that to happen. And I do want hazards up for sure. So I can just get up my final layer. The only way I could have more layers is if I had webs. And I actually have a version of this team that actually does have webs, which is kind of hilarious. So we block his iron defense, so that worked out really well, as this is just menacing. That didn't kill, and at this point I am terrified enough that I'm just gonna say goodbye to the world. So now I think we just go Thundy, because I think Celesteela is pretty likely from him. As he actually ends up going straight into Tapu Koko, and I need everything, but I think Garchomp is probably the most expendable, as he actually goes for his first screen. So he is most likely running like that U-turn set, which is really cool. I'm just gonna go straight into Thundy. As he gets his other screen so that I can actually just gonna go like straight for T-Bolt, as he is the taunt set, which is obviously cool. And I went for T-Bolt just because it'll actually allow me to waste another turn of screen and I can just knock off here. So running Volt Switch over U-turn, which I think is probably less advised. I think normally they run the other, and now I can just Incinerate for approximately 2 damage and he kills me straight up. So at this point I'm pretty sure I am forced to go Chomper and hit him with a Rock Slide, which does not kill, but I live. So we're wasting more screens turns at the very least. The only thing I'm really worried about is the Celesteela, and he just sacks Koko probably to go into Celesteela. And hopefully we can like flinch here. We did 11, and we do get a flinch. These lefties. So that's really interesting, actually. We actually get another flinch. And it looks like he's like Spadef Celestala on this team, which is bizarre. And we're just gonna keep getting flinches. I considered switching on that protect, but I don't think that was the best play. And he actually does now take us out. But that allows us to get a very hot sword stance here. And since he's seated, that allows us to get another hot sword stance. And we can just Shadow Claw this into the next dimension. And we should be able to just Shadow Sneak. Well, Cloister I don't think we can Shadow Sneak because it's so bulky. But I should live an Ice Shard regardless. But we can Shadow Sneak the Ribombi. And the other dies to rocks. So we should have this pretty well in hand as we plop the Ribombi. And that's the game. So it's pretty good. I think I'm going to get one more. And then end this evening with y'all. It's been too long, honestly, since I've uploaded. I really enjoy, talking about my thought process, and this is kind of a mindless team of the HO, but I want to talk a little bit about thought process and also, how busy IRL has been recently. Alright, so looking at his team, he's most likely going to lead with Greninja or Magearna. He does have Defog. If it's Scarf, that's really annoying, and he's probably Scarf. Well, this is probably Rocks, so this is probably Scarf. And that's probably Zard Y, if I had to guess. Maybe Zardex. Not sure. Anyway, he's probably going to lead Greninja. I'm just going to lead with my own Greninja, though. And this was the other thing I said he might lead with, and there it is. So the best play against this always turn 1 is to click Spikes, because there's the potential of them clicking Volt Switch, and you are Sash. So by clicking Spikes, you guarantee that you get a Spike and a T-Spike against this. Magearna is actually a huge problem for this team, and I'm not really sure how to fix that. It's really just pretty much any Magearna set just beats this team, which is bad. I kind of made this team just as like a thought of like the proof of concept of having 2 hazard stack leads, and there's the Volt Switch. Of having 2 hazard stack leads, and all in all it is probably less effective than just running one dedicated HO lead and playing from there. So he is Zard Y. I'm just going to Stealth Rock here, anticipating some sort of switch. So he actually just stays in and, of course, loasts me into the next dimension. I think my best play currently is to go into Thundy, and he should switch, and I think Knockoff is probably the play, anticipating the Lottie, and I get that correct. And he was Scarf, as I anticipated, and that is why we made that play, so we can keep all of our hazards, and we actually have a pretty good chance of winning now because of that play. We just got to be worried about the Greninja, but we can live a Dark Pulse from here. If he's Protean, then that's less scary. I'm just going to Incinerate in the Sun, because I just need to get a little bit of damage on that to have a really good chance of just winning with Celestala. So here is the Greninja. I value my Disguise more than I value my Thundy, as I just T-bolted and I looked like a god, but that's not necessarily what I was predicting. And he's gone. So I think at that point I won by autotomizing on either the Tangrowth or the Landalus and going from there. So I really appreciate everyone who watched this whole video, and hopefully I'll be uploading more, not necessarily like daily or anything, but you know, maybe once a week once I've moved and settled in where I'm going to be working full-time. Really appreciate all of the support that y'all have given me since I've started this YouTube channel, you know, years ago, and definitely looking forward to reading y'all's comments on this. If you liked the video, drop a like, drop a comment. If you disliked the video, drop a dislike and tell me why in the comments. Both are appreciated, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.